Small Business. I'm Kevin Gammy. I've got Jatixa with me. How are you going, Jatixa?
Well, good, thank you. How are you, Kevin?
I'm awesome. Now, we've just come off Easter. We're in that streak of about 6 months of long weekends, it feels like, as we're going through it right now.
Yeah.
Easter, Anzac Day, Labor Day, all that sort of stuff. It feels like business is so stop and start right now. But what we want to do today is we want to talk about the Business Basics Grant. It's during this time that the government thought it'd be a great idea to release a grant and give people a very short window of opportunity. So you've been diligently studying up on this grant.
Yeah, I've been on the website a fair few times this weekend, having a look, making sure I know what's going on.
Look, it's a really exciting opportunity. A lot of people get really negative about, governments and grants and that sort of stuff, and they focus on the fact that lots of people don't get them, and that's true. Lots of people don't get them, but lots of people do get them as well. And I don't know about you, but it's not often you get paid $5,000 for 2 to 3 hours work, right?
No, it's a great opportunity. Yeah, $5,000. Who'd say no to that?
So what we're here to do today is to help people understand, one, what's in it for them and can they get it, right? So I've got 5 things that people need, and I'd love to have a chat with you about. One is eligibility, right? So quickly, the 5 things are going to be eligibility. Are you as a business eligible? 2, is the project that you'd love done, is that eligible? 3, getting a supplier quote. 4, you'll need a stat dec, and we need to make sure that you've got that before the 4th. And 5, you need to make sure that you've got your application ready and complete so that you can complete it before everybody else, before it's oversubscribed, right? So, that. First question we've got, Kate Henderson has said, if you've been given it in previous rounds, can you apply? Sorry, Kate, the answer is no, you can't. So if you've been successful with the Business Basics Grant, now that doesn't mean if you got the a grant in relation to the COVID pandemic and it wasn't the Business Basics Grant, then yes, this is a whole new grant. So don't be confused that I got a grant once upon a time and therefore I can't be subscribed. This is the 3rd round of the Business Basics Grant under this genre, and it's in relation to that.
It's for this financial year. So this current financial year, if you had received a grant in round 1 or 2, you cannot apply for round 3. But if you weren't as successful in 1 or 2, absolutely go for round 3. It's another shot.
Absolutely. So you need to check on what you have or have not been successful for. 2, they've then split Queensland into Southeast Queensland and the rest. So that means that they've got particular funding or a cap on the funding available for Southeast Queensland and a cap on the funding for not Southeast Queensland. Last time that happened, there was Southeast Queensland vanished in hours, and the rest of Queensland was open for months. So hopefully they don't just go 50-50 this time. They realise that there is a greater need and a great desire for that. But let's look at eligibility. There's 5 things you need to be eligible. Do you know what they are?
Yeah, so your head count within your business needs to be 20 or less, and that's head count, so number of heads, not your full-time equivalents. So 20 names. The second
That's
one
how many people you pay.
Yeah. So how many people have you got on your payroll, not how many full-time equivalents you've got. Obviously, you need to have an ABN and be registered for GST.
Now, the reason for that, let's talk about that. The reason for that is this is state government funding. State governments get paid by GST revenue. So if you're not registered for GST, they're figuring that you're never helping repay and get a return on investment. It's a fair call. So don't sit there and complain, I don't have that. Why don't I? Hey, register for GST. That's what I'm going to encourage you to do.
Yeah, and you don't have to wait until you're at that threshold. If you're not quite there, it's a voluntary. You can voluntarily register for GST. It's easy to do. It takes minutes.
And it takes such a small amount of time, and it's instant when you do it.
Yeah.
So if you're currently not registered for GST, don't think you can't apply for the grant. You've just got to do it now. And then you will be registered for GST before the 4th of May.
Yep. Your headquarters need to be in Queensland.
And
So
so,
wherever
hey,
you're based
hopefully,
in.
if you're listening to this, you are.
Yeah, you
You're
should be.
part of you're part of Brisbane Small Business, which is really, as we know, Southeast Queensland. And as we said, there are the two, Southeast Queensland and other. Next one.
Your turnover for this financial year, just for this financial year, your turnover needs to be no more than $300,000. So
Great.
anything up to 300,000, you're still eligible for this grant.
So that's your total sales. And that would be total sales less GST,
Yes,
because they don't count GST as your revenue. They
no,
count that as theirs, rightly so.
exactly. And I think we've already mentioned the other one. So if you've been successful in round 1 or in round 2 for this financial year of the Business Basics grant, you're not eligible. So if you've not had it anytime this financial year, you can definitely apply.
Absolutely. And the last one, you can't be an undischarged bankrupt, and the business
Yes.
can't be trading insolvent. So they're very important points as well. So now that we've worked out whether you're eligible or not, the next thing is the project eligible? And look, hey, once again, they're very helpful. They've got 5 things, that 5 different types of projects that you can have. Now, here's a funny thing. In different rounds of the grants, they shuffle the order. So I have a suspicion, right? I got lots of theories on life. A whole lot of them are real crap, okay? But a couple, every now and again, I get it right. So I suspect that they give a higher weighting to things that they've got number 1 and 2 as opposed to 4 and 5. But
That'd be
as I said,
interesting to see. It'd be interesting to see the results of that one, Kevin.
this isn't a discussion I've had with the department at this stage. And even with that, no matter what project you're looking for, make sure it's one of these. So 1, training and coaching. Now,
Yeah.
training and coaching, what are they talking about there, Jatixa?
So this includes business development, marketing, human resources, any business planning sort of topics that are going to help you grow your business, increase your survivability was the word that you used. I really like that word. So any of those topics that's going to help your business grow, that will be part of your training and coaching.
Absolutely. These are projects that are going to help you be more confident about running your business, about building up your core skills so that you can run a better business. This is what the government want you. They want you to be more resilient and to have a more sustainable and growing business. So that's what the training and coaching is about. 2, website development and upgrades.
So the build of your website, any upgrades that you need to have done on your website, adding e-commerce, so products that you're selling on your website, you can use the grant to upgrade for those purposes, and then new website content. To be honest, on that one, Kevin, do you know any more on that last point? The new website content. That one's
Yeah, so if you were
quite
doing a
sensitive.
rewrite of your thing, so so we have a number of people in our community that do that write websites. So if
Copywriting.
at the moment you've got a really a website that doesn't get much traction, that nobody ever comes and looks at, and God forbid nobody ever picks up the phone and calls you from it, or nobody books a meeting from it or anything like that. This is all designed to help make your website better so that it is easier to do commerce with you. Remember, the whole premise of this, it's 3-pronged. It is to increase your confidence of the business owner in their core skills. It's to boost profits, to boost turnover. It's to create employment within Queensland specifically. And 3, to improve business survivability and resilience. So when thinking about your website, how does it make it easier for people to do business with you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Number 3 is about professional service advice.
This is business plans. This is so essential. Having a business plan for your business is just going to skyrocket you. You know exactly what your strengths, your weaknesses are, what path you're going to take to again grow your business, create that resilience, create that survivability. It all comes down to a good business plan, a solid business plan.
Now, you do a lot of business processing stuff. Do you help people with business plans?
Absolutely, yeah. I think with any process, you need to have, like I said, you need to have a good business plan. And you can Google it all day long, and you'll see really complicated ones online sometimes. But you can keep it simple. It doesn't have to be an extravagant document, like something that you're going to use every day that will help you build your business. Like just keeping the core values in your business plan, your marketing, your sales, your financial plans, all kind of forms part of your business plan. And I think it's a great one to have in the grant this time. Essential thing.
And the really important thing for me in business plans is that there's actionable steps, so that your business plans should set your agenda and help you understand what projects come first, second, third, so that I can
Yeah.
grow my business. Yeah.
I like to think of a business plan as almost like your GPS, like it's helping you steer your business. You don't have to rock up at your desk thinking, oh, where am I going to go today? Like your business plan is already going to direct you.
Fantastic. Now, strategic marketing services. This is a real interesting one because it's something that's so broad. Everything you do in your business is about strategic marketing in
Yeah.
reality. So what are they talking about here?
They've specifically mentioned here search engine optimization, so SEO, which we hear about all the time. Because marketing is mentioned in the number 1 part, but specifically SEO for point 4. So I'm thinking this is going to be to get get you more visible, making sure that you appear in your Google searches and all of that stuff, all the keywords and whatnot. That's how I've understood this point.
Absolutely. It's about taking on the big guys, right? So how can you take on the big guys? How can you be more visible in your market space with this? I was talking to Carl Schwartz this morning, who does his Google review stuff. And I was going, Carl, you could actually be marketing what you do as helping people with SEO underneath this grant. And he said, oh, fantastic. And his mind's off
Yeah.
racing around that already.
We
I
would be
know that
perfect.
we've got a number of members that are SEO specialists in the group, and definitely working with them is one of the things you could do here. But it could be for other strategic marketing. How can you be more prolific in your content marketing platform? How can you be doing that? Now, the fifth thing that you can use the grant for is business continuity and succession.
Hmm.
Talk to us about that one.
This one's again a really vague one. I think business I can never say that word. Continuity.
Continuity.
Continuity. Oh dear. Again, it's coming back to the same points you've said before about resilience, survivability, like making sure that your business is going to continue to succeed. Succession plans, again, is like where are you taking your business? Like, where do you see your business in a couple of years' time? What are you going to do next? That's how I may have have a different
Well, it could also be
interpretation to you, Kevin.
what it could also be is if there's going to be a change of generations, if you're about to pass your business over, if you're about to exit the business and you're about to give that to the next generation, be that your children or be that your managers or that sort of thing, getting it ready to pass on to the next thing. That's what business continuity is all about. It's about making sure that your business can continue to operate through natural disasters, through all other things. It does mention specifically cyber safety training, okay, and the like. So it is all about making sure that your business is disaster proof, that no matter what happens, the business can keep performing. And when we look at what's happened to business over the last 2.5 years, we've been hit from pillar to post by natural disasters, by pandemics, by this, that, and the floods and fire and everything else that people can throw at us. So it's about making sure your business is resilient in those times. But it also specifically does mention the cyber training side of things. So they're the projects that are eligible. As I said, it then asks you to do supplier quotes. I want to bring in now a point that that I was told by the department once upon a time. 50% of grant applications are knocked out because they don't address the core challenge that the grant is for. Remember,
Wow.
I keep harping on it. I keep coming back to this grant is all about three things. It's about increasing your confidence of the business owners across the core skills of running a business. It's about boosting turnover, profitability, and creating employment in Queensland.
Yeah.
It's about improving business survivability and your personal resilience. So make sure that these are the things that you're addressing in your grant application. If you're not addressing these and you're talking about building a wonderful website, you can still be knocked out. Even though the point of the website was to do those, you have to mention this is what it's for.
Almost like the
Okay.
keywords, the buzzwords to use in your application. Like make sure it's there, it's visible, it's at the forefront of your application.
Absolutely. So 3 was get a supplier quote and make sure that the quote from the supplier dovetails into what you've asked for in relation to what your project is about. 4, you need a statutory declaration. Do not wait until the 4th of May and think, oh my God, now I need to go out and get a stat deck. It will be closed before you get one. Okay. So you have 2 weeks from tomorrow to get your statutory declaration that states, and there will be a downloadable statutory declaration that all you do, don't make up your own, use theirs. They cannot reject their statutory declaration. So just fill in the blanks on their version, please. Number 5, complete the bloody thing. Okay. Now, this is a learn from experience. Okay. Last round, where this came up, we knew that it was going to go quickly, and I spoke to a number of people about it. 3/4 of the people I spoke to went, "Oh yeah, I'll get round to it. I'll get to it on that day." They didn't get to even type in a thing that it had closed.
It went
Right?
so fast
When
last time.
when they get enough applications, they will just shut it off.
Yeah.
Okay. So please, 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 if you are going to go to the effort of identifying a project that can help you grow your business, to work with that person and get a quote for that, then make sure you book time out and put your application in.
Yeah,
Because there's
absolutely.
nothing more frustrating than doing that work. The other thing I'm going to make sure, I'm going to ask you to please, 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 please don't apply to do a project just because you might get paid for by the government. Make sure this is a project that if you had to put your hand in your pocket and go, I'm going to pay for this, that you would. Because if it's not, why should the government pay to do something for you that you're not prepared to do? Now, that could be a project that you wish you could have done for the entire last year, but you don't have the funding to do. Yes,
Go
that's a
for it.
great project. But it's not a project of, oh, gee, if I had all the money in the world, I guess I'd do that. Then, why is that a compelling reason to ask the government for some money? So please be responsible in how you are requesting these funds. So make sure that you're using the project well and that you're doing that. With the coaching, you can get up to 4 months worth of coaching. If you're getting a website, don't accept a quote for $5,000 for just a simple website that you could buy for $1,500. Make sure they're doing the entire bloody thing, that they're doing the website, that they're doing the words, that they're making it e-commerce website, right? Make sure that you're getting value for money, that if this was your money that you were parting with, is that good value? Because that's what's really important.
Yeah, make sure your quote, like you've just said it, it's for a fixed $5,000. So don't put in quotes for like 4,500 or 3,000. Like it is for $5,000, a fixed amount. Obviously, you can go over that amount, but don't apply for anything that's under. Because I've come across someone do that, and obviously it wasn't successful. $5,000, and as Kevin just said, if it is for training and coaching, it's for 4 month duration. It's not like just a one-off project. So you need to be able to have that capacity in your business, and and you'll be able to implement all of the things that your trainer or your coach can do with you.
Absolutely. Look,
But
I'm
we
pretty
didn't
sure
say the date. Did we say the date? We didn't even say the date. It
Yeah,
opens on
yeah.
the 4th of
I've only
May
said it.
at
May the
9.
4th be with you.
Oh, you did, yeah. 4th of May, 9 a.m. So it has to be like you need to be ready and raring to go before 9 a.m.
2 weeks, 1 day. That's all you've got to do it to get ready. So get onto it. If you've got people that you'd like to speak to about this, get a meeting with them as soon as. Make sure that they're delivering a project that you want and that's going to be useful for your business. You know, I know that I'm helping a number of people through business coaching and finding their business mojo and building their confidence, getting focused and helping them. I'm doing that. Jatixa, you're going to be helping people with business plans and with process improvement plans. We're both going to put a link below here. If you want to book a time with either of us to do that, please feel free to do that. We'll have a chat. I know that I'm, offering 15-minute chats. I do have to keep it 15 minutes because, like the rest of the world, we're all very, very busy. So, please, let's make sure that you're reaching out to people who you know, you're reaching out to people who you've seen can get you the results, because I really want this to be used to really help people improve their business.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the goal, right? We all want everyone to succeed. So, yeah, use this opportunity to apply for the grant.
Absolutely. Thanks very much, Jatixa. Thanks for your time today. I very much appreciate it, and I look forward to keeping chatting with you about this and other stuff. As the years come. Thanks for being part of the BSB leadership team.
No problem. Thanks, Kevin.